Hello, and thank you for joining me today. I'm your host, Gal Swisa Cohen, and on today's episode of the Israeli Bond on HMTV, my special guest, Ben Golan, will join me for a conversation about his life as a teenager in Israel. So before we begin, I want to say that Ben is a Shinshin in the Randy Wolbe-Malinsky Center for Israel program at the C. Jacobson JCC. For those who may not know, Shinshin stands for Shnat Shirut, a year of service, that some Israeli teens choose to spend a gap year, between finishing high school and their mandatory army service. Ben chose to spend his year with us here on Long Island in this important mission of strengthening the Jewish community in the diaspora and the people of Israel, a bond that is meaningful, essential, and unbreakable. So thank you so much for joining me today, Ben.
Of course.
And we'll just start from the beginning. Can you tell me, please, a little bit about the house that you grew up in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I grew up in Haifa, in a fun house with both my parents and my younger brother, who's 14 now. I say like a regular childhood. I was having fun when I grew up in my house. I can talk about my parents.
Yes. Where did they came from? Just for the background,
like
in Israel, a lot of the people, it's a mix of a lot of Jewish people that came from all different places.
Yeah.
After the establishment of the Israeli state. So can you tell us about what's your parents' stories?
Yeah, that's my story. So my mom did Aliyah from the Soviet Union when she was 17. She did Aliyah alone, came to Israel with essentially just one suitcase and, I don't know, like the dream for a better future.
No brothers and sisters.
She has brothers back in Russia and also parents back in Russia. And like we send the happy birthday videos to them, but essentially her life is here in Israel. So she learned Hebrew in the Ulpan. She did Itgairut, became Jewish, and started her life here.
Yeah.
And as a contrast, my dad was born in Israel, so was a Tzabar, and also his dad was born in Israel also. So like a few generations of Tzabarim.
And your grandfather?
My grandfather, also from Russia, from like the dad side, but my father's mother, also an interesting story. She was from Germany, but when she was 1 year old, her parents moved to Israel after they, in Germany, heard a speech of Hitler. Her father went to hear a speech, and I think 1933, and decided
when Hitler just came into power.
Yeah, and he decided they can't stay there anymore. So he took his wife and my grandmother, who was 1 year old, and they moved to Israel. And he had, I think, 7 siblings. Tried to convince them all to move with him to Israel, and they didn't. And then all of them and their families died in the Holocaust.
Well, that is a very tragic story, but I'm so glad that your grandmother, or like her father, decided to move to Israel, to immigrate to Israel. This is very interesting, but tell me, there's another really interesting story inside of your house, because your father is from Israel, and his father was from Israel, so he's kind of a tzabar. We call tzabar someone that has a few generation in Israel, and we have quite a few in Israel.
Yeah, you're right.
Many generations, born and raised in Israel. But your mother, she came from Russia. She was a total immigrant in a very old age, right? 17?
17.
So how was it? How did they meet?
Yeah. So also 17, like weird age to do Aliyah, because you're not a kid moving with your parents and you're not a grown up. So it was like a very hard age to move.
So do you know why she did it?
Because first of all, there was the opportunity to move. Emissaries of the Jewish agency came to Irkutsk, and she saw this opportunity because her grandfather was Jewish, so she could do Aliyah. And she realized, like, her future is in Israel and not in Russia. And then she moved to Israel. So it was important for her to be Israeli, to learn Hebrew and be Jewish. And later, when me and my brother were born, she raised us as Israelis and Jewish. So, like, I think it was important to her.
So she wasn't Jewish when she came?
Because in the US, there wasn't any religion in the Soviet Union. I think she moved before the Soviet Union even fell. So it was still the Soviet Union, and there wasn't any religion there.
So she did everything she can to be Jewish, no matter where you're looking at it. And this is really interesting and very a very optimistic story. I like that. So, and you grew up, and then they met. They decided to build their house in Haifa. Can you tell me a little bit about your childhood in Haifa? And just for our listeners to know, Haifa is a mixed city, meaning that it has both Arabs and Jews living in coexistence all the time. So can you tell me a little bit about that experience and generally about your experience in your childhood in Haifa?
So first of all, I like Haifa. You were a student there.
My master's degree was in Haifa.
University.
I loved it very much.
I live like 10 minutes walking distance from Haifa University. But I really love Haifa. And if you go down, as you said, like to the valley, that's what this area is called, you see Arabs and like Arab stores and restaurants. So you really, like, I would say, come into contact with them. Like, it sounds weird, but like...
But it was not weird.
It was like only I couldn't find the words in English, but like...
It's normal.
It's like normal. You go there and you get shawarma and hummus. Yeah.
So it's a true coexistence, meaning that you buy from them, maybe you see them all the time. So it's just like a regular city.
Yeah, on the bus to school every morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super nice. You haven't felt any tension or anything about that?
No, not really.
Which is very interesting because a lot of people don't really know what's the atmosphere in Israel, but there are cities in Israel which is very common to just work with people who are Arabs and maybe play with them and meet them and eat in their, like, the best hummus, the best food,
the best shawarma.
The best shawarma. I agree. So a little bit more about your childhood. You told me that you participated in Chug Sayarut, like an after-school kind of enrichment. I tried to find from ChatGPT how to translate that.
Okay.
It was kind of like a ranger program.
I think you could say it. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. The Sayarut, I think, like, a really important part of my life. It was like a youth program. So the regular stuff, we would meet once a week to do activities with your counselor, like, and learn about Israel and about animals and different, like, stuff regarding nature, but also just have fun and play games. But
so it was kind of a youth movement, but that is more focused on nature.
I was gonna say, but the most important thing, at least once a month, there was a hike, like a heavy hike. We even fourth graders we would take them out, they would sleep in the nature, even without a tent most of the times, just in a sleeping bag. And it was very important for us to cook in the wild and do hikes. So generally, just go out to the wild without really anything. Like, there weren't any grown-ups making us meals. It was all us.
So a lot of independence.
A lot of independence.
In the outdoors. Can you tell me what you liked about that? This is not something, I must say, it maybe sounds like it's something that is very ordinary for an Israeli boy, but it's not that ordinary, I would say.
Yeah.
What did you like about that?
So, of course, I like the meeting once a week to meet my friends and have fun. But the hikes, I really liked. There's a saying in Hebrew, להתקלב, like to take off all your standards and all warm, nice food and everything. I really liked to go out in nature and sleep in nature and really face challenges. And after every hike, I really felt good. Like I did something that was good to me and I had fun.
Like you felt that you accomplished something,
Yeah,
that you worked very, very hard and you overcome like some challenge.
Yeah. And also you get to see beautiful Israel. And later when I became like a counselor there, you get to teach other people and other kids and let them see Israel and let them see the hikes.
So basically you got to hike all over Israel and then you became a kind of a guide.
Yeah.
A tour guide, but like in the outdoors.
In the outdoors.
So today, if we're gonna go back to Israel, or one of our listeners will go back to Israel, would you be able to guide them?
Of course.
I have
a certificate, like an instructor's certificate or a guide certificate for hikes in Israel.
And what is your favorite hike?
The Golan.
The Golan Heights.
Yeah.
Is it
It's
a
like
specific hike that you like there?
Shvil Golan. There's like a trail that goes all around the Golan Heights, and I think it's really beautiful there. Also, my senior year, me and two friends, we found like a few days where there wasn't any real important classes, so we did like senior getaway and did most of the Golan Trail.
Wow!
Just like we took up buses there, like I think 3 buses together, and we just walked from near the Hermon mountain all the way down to Alonei Bashan.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
So for who is not familiar with that, the Golan Trail is a few days hike of few days that you're sleeping in the wild, basically.
Yeah, and cooking. And
cooking for yourself. Obviously, it's not like cabins to cabins because there's no like cabins.
Yeah.
Hiking style in Israel. Actually, this is one of my favorite, me and my husband's one of our favorite spots. And
in the Golan.
And I like it that you said it because definitely we're gonna do it together when we'll be back.
Yeah.
But you just said that you went with your friends from high school, and this is a very good way to move forward to your high school year. So
Yeah.
can you tell us a little bit about your high school, and also you studied in a very special high school, right? Or a special class in high school.
Special class in high school.
So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I was in a gifted class. And what that means is the Ministry of Education chooses a few spots in Israel to place a gifted class. And what that means, like it chooses a school to host this gifted class. So like the class is from the Ministry of Education, but we learn in the school. So my school...
So it's a regular school.
Yeah, which also I think it's really good.
Okay. But one class is a gifted class.
Yeah.
Do you know how many classes like that are around Israel?
Single digit for sure.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if like 4 or 8. But those are like...
So where your gifted class was?
Mine was in Haifa. And
Okay.
actually, it was, I think, the only one in the north. So we had a girl from Binyamina.
Wow.
And someone from... I forgot the name. But like from Tivon. So
they needed to commute.
They needed to commute to school because it's like one class for all the north part of Israel.
So this is it's a gifted class, meaning that you needed your academics to be very, very high.
Mm-hmm.
Was it something that you always chased after during your school, or was it something that your parents led you in a way that you'll get into this class?
Actually, I think neither one. So after or during 6th grade, you start looking for where you want to be in middle school for like 7th grade. And we looked at this option of going to the gifted class. And we needed to do like an entrance exam for the class. Even after you're declared as a gifted kid, you still need to do the entrance test for the class. And I think like my mom also raised me with like the attitude of why not, or leave as many doors open. So I did a lot of tests to different school. I got accepted to the gifted class. It sounded really good, so we went with it. It was a hard thing because it's in the other side of Haifa. So
also for you, it was kind of a commute.
it was kind of a commute, yeah.
How long did it take you to get there?
It took me, I had to leave, if school started like 10 minutes past state, I had to take the bus at 7 and 5 minutes, something like that. Because even if the commute was shorter, if I would have left 20 minutes later, I would hit like the rush hour of traffic, which means I would never get there.
Yeah.
So also a long commute, and I would get up early. But I think it was worth it.
Yes. What do you think? So first of all, I think it's a very interesting topic to our listeners. Many of them are here from America, and here in America, there is a lot of the parents wants their kids to get to the best schools, and they sign them up for programs.
From a very young age.
From a very young age. And here you're saying that it's something, first of all, that you just signed up for, you just tried. And I like your mom's approach of, let's just try. What can go wrong?
Exactly.
The second thing, which is very, very important to notice, is that this is a program from the Ministry of Education. So it's a public school. You don't need to pay extra to participate in this program. You can just apply, and it doesn't matter where you coming from. Mm-hmm. You just need to apply. Of course, you need to be very good at school. You need to be very smart, and Ben is very smart because otherwise you couldn't get accepted. But at the end of the day, you just need to try. Mm-hmm. And what kind of different topics maybe you learn in this kind of gifted class?
Yeah, so a few. First of all, we started learning physics from 7th grade. Most students start learning physics at 10th grade in high school. But I think the main changes are English. I think we were 1 or 2 years ahead of the other kids our age. So in 7th grade, we would learn material for 9th grade in English. But math was the best part for me because we had, I think, 2 days a week or like 2 classes of math that are the regular program, but 1 or 2 days a week, we would learn, on the same hours, we would learn a program by Columbia University here in the US. So like
New York.
Yeah, a special like a program for math.
Which is like a higher level.
A higher level, like group theory, number theory, like stuff more high level.
Stuff that usually kids in high school don't get to learn.
Yeah.
So what other opportunities does this option open to you?
So after we started learning this program, I realized I really like math. I really do. And then I didn't really do much with it, but in 10th grade, I got the opportunity to do a research project with a PhD student in the Technion University.
Which is, I would say, it's like the best university in Israel for science and all the STEM topics. Okay.
Especially
and in Haifa. And it's in Haifa.
Also, I think like 10 minutes, 15 minutes bus ride from my house.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I got it. We started doing it. It was amazing for me. I learned a lot.
You really find your passion in that.
I really found my passion. Later, we submitted it. We're also submitting it to conferences worldwide. It was in France and in the US.
To a regular, like, academic work. You just help a PhD student with his academic work.
Actually, it was very important for the program that it wouldn't be helping the PhD student. It's like they're telling the PhD student, start a new research program with me. Like, I'm not helping him in his research. Like,
so you're kind of a PhD.
No, not really. No. But like co-author of a research project.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you. And then I got like better at math, at like high level math. And I applied for a special program in the Technion called מתיכון לטכניון, or like from high school to Technion, which lets you, after you pass a test, like a math test, which was hard, you can take university courses. So here you might do AP classes, but in Israel, you really need to go through the process of like getting accepted into university and then taking university classes with students. So I started doing it, which is also very interesting.
And okay, so this is very interesting. So you got accepted to this program, and I know that there was another opportunity that opened to you through one of the contests that you had in school. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it wasn't in school. I think, it was 12th grade. The program where I did the research research paper through, which was already ended, but they reached out to me and said, there's a contest in Israel, young scientists and researchers program, contest in Israel. And they told me you should apply. So I applied to it. And then you need to go through tests and miunim. How would you say it?
More tests.
Yeah, you can say it, more tests. And I got accepted into like the contest. There's like a few people that got accepted. And then you start working, preparing for the contest, which is 3 days in Jerusalem, where you're being judged by judges walking around the area where the contest was held.
About a research, like an academic research that you did.
Yeah, it was in many topics. I was in math, but others did physics, chemistry, even history, or the humane science.
Okay, subjects. So it doesn't matter what science.
Yeah.
It just matter that it would be academic.
Academic and research.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
And then you meet the judges, and you need to present a poster that you made for your research paper. And then the last day, they all meet up and they make the decisions. So
like who won?
Who won?
What is the criteria? Do you know?
The criteria, I think how good you presented, how important and marsim.
Like how impressive.
How impressive your research was. I think they didn't tell us everything. But at the end, I won ציון לשבח, which is like a honorable mention, I think. And I got a few other stuff. But most importantly, Germany's ambassador in Israel, who was one of the judges there apparently, chose me and two other winners to go to a summer camp in Germany.
This is the best prize.
It was actually the best prize because like you could go to other conferences and contests worldwide, but for us, it would just go to have fun in Germany with it sounds really good. So we went there and I learned about laser physics. We built lasers, which was amazing. And also chemistry. And actually, I've never tried chemistry. I don't think I touched chemistry since 9th grade, which was like a chance to learn a new whole topic. And then, after we finished like the learning every day, I would go and tour the whole city of Göttingen in Germany and go to parties and like pubs. And,
it sounds amazing.
It was really amazing.
But one thing that I wanted to ask you about that, so maybe it was from Technion, from high school to Technion. So you also got the opportunity to start to get a full scholarship for a math degree at the Technion.
For the first year.
For the first year of this university. And for the listeners that are listening, this is kind of the MIT of Israel, I would say. Mm-hmm. And you decided that you're going to park this opportunity and come here to this gap year, this Shnat Shirut, year of service, then go to the army, right? Because after you finish this period, you're going to the army for 3 years. This is the mandatory service. How you park this opportunity? This is something that people would not normally do.
I know, but I just feel that there's like a time for everything. So even during high school where I did like the university courses, I really wanted to live time for friends and to have fun. So I didn't kill myself with all the pressure. So, and it was very important to me. And now with this, I don't know, a scholarship or the opportunity to learn and get a full degree, I just feel like everything has its time. So I'll do this year of service, then the army, then it will wait for me. And I can do it after the army.
And so I want to say that I really respect this approach. I think this is kind of like an Israeli approach, that you feel that you don't need to rush in. There is time to everything, and you can like take your time and just be a kid as long as you can, and you'll still be good at math in 4 years after you'll finish the army, and you'll go back to it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I like it so much. We're really running out of time, so I'm gonna end now with my special game of, I'm gonna ask you 4 questions really quick. You need to answer really, really quick because we're really running out of time. So
everything's flashing here with like time's up.
Yeah. So, Tel Aviv or Jerusalem?
Tel Aviv.
Rosh Hashanah or Passover?
Passover.
Okay. What's your favorite American food?
Burgers.
Hamburgers, right? If you could flew something right now from Israel, one thing on a plane, what would it be?
Israeli hummus.
Israeli hummus. This is interesting. You're right. So thank you very much, Ben. And just a minute, I want to cut this off. Okay. No. So thank you so much, Ben. And if you'd like to learn more about the Randy Wolba-Malinsky Center for Israel program at the C. Jacobson JCC, or to discover opportunities to collaborate with us, please feel free to reach us at rcfidirector@sjjcc.org. And thank you again, Ben, for being with us today on this episode of the Israeli Bond on HMTV. For sharing your insights and your stories from your childhood in Israel. And if you enjoy exploring the information, history, and stories in today's conversation, be sure to check out our other podcasts here on HMTC. Please subscribe, share, and stay connected for more engaging conversation. And until next time, take care and be well.